give you thanks for what you've done especially for the gift of Jesus, your Son. For beauty in nature, your glory we see, for joy and health and friends and family. Amen.
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 Keep that handy. Okay. Item number 1, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting October 5th, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lyle.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWitt.
Yes. Number 2, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for public viewing of October 7th.
At the view.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
I abstain.
Commissioner Lyle.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWitt.
Yes. Okay. Item number 3, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes of the meeting of October 14th, 2021.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lyle.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWitt.
Yes. Jerry has number 4.
On November 19th, for maintenance, I approved hiring Jamie Titriglia for the position of full-time custodian to be effective December 13th, 2021 at the rate of $12.73 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions. I approved hiring David Heller to the position of seasonal help at the rate of $10 per hour to be effective December 13th, 2021 through April
Oh,
20th.
that's supposed to be the 30th, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's supposed to be the 30th, sorry. April 30th. On David.
Through April 30th, 2021 for up to 13 weeks, maximum of 520 hours. Approved hiring Christian Rose to the position of seasonal help at the rate of $10.25 per hour to be effective December 13th, 2021 through April 30th, 2022 for up to 13 weeks, maximum of 520 hours. And approved hiring Nicholas Tilk to the position of seasonal help at the rate of $10.50 per hour to be effective December 13th, 2021 through April 30th, 2022 for up to 13 weeks, not to exceed a combined total of 960 hours worked. And for Water Resources, amended the motion of November 15th, 2021 to revise the start date to read approved hiring Brian Kane to the position of maintenance worker to be effective December 6th, 2021 at the rate of $18.54 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions, and concurred with Montville Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on the liquor license being requested by Dogan Midwest LLC, doing business as Dollar General Store number 21638, located at 16665 Grand Army of the Republic Highway, Montville, Ohio.
Thank you, Jerry. Morning, Jerry, or Adrian.
Good morning. Okay, today's financials include appropriations transfers from various departments as we begin the payroll true-up process to the end of the year. There's also a supplemental increase to 911 capital and debt service transfers out accounts in preparation for year-end cash transfers. Among the cash transfers today are one from the general fund to the sheriff's 800 communications fund for their second half 2021 support, to the from the general fund to Help America Vote fund to reimburse the state for the overspending of a grant, and from the general fund to Court Technology for the remainder of their 2021 funding. Among the encumbrances are a purchase order from Emergency Services to Tamarack Aerial Service LLC for an upgraded replacement drone. A couple of then and nows, one from the engineer's office to Burton Township for the county portion of road work that was not previously encumbered, and from municipal court to the law office of Carly L. Snavely LLC for appointed counsel fees not previously encumbered, and travel requests from Water Resources to attend the 2021 County Sanitary Engineers Association of Ohio Winter Conference and the 2022 AirVac Operator Training Course. Among the vouchers are $48,450 from ADP to Norstan Communications Incorporated for the Black Box Network Assessment Project, $119,332.25 from the Commissioner's Office to the Portage Jaga Joint Juvenile Detention Center for our fourth quarter operations commitment, $127,767.59 from the Commissioner's Office to the Airport Authority for pay request number 4 for the T-Hangar construction project and loan. $28,447 from Community Development to Ohio Paving and Construction Company for block grant work done at the Geauga County Fairgrounds. And we're holding the $1,137.88 pending final work approval on that one. $49,014 from the Sheriff's Office to Motorola Solutions Incorporated for 800 megahertz trunk radio mandated system upgrades. And finally, a revenue certification from the Board of Elections and their Help America Vote Fund to recognize additional revenue received in 2021.
Good.
Motion? I'll second, and just discussion real quick, the $48,450 from ADP,
Yeah.
that was for work that was previously done, correct? That was for
Yeah, that was the meeting that you guys had talking about the different things that they needed to upgrade regarding
Okay,
the county's computer systems, yes.
okay.
And you second it?
Yeah,
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
yes.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good morning, man.
Good morning. Item 6 on the agenda is requesting the board award the bid to Marucci and Gaffney Excavating Company for the replacement of the Bundy'sburg Road Bridge in Parkman Township in the amount of $2,198,765.48 for the alternate bid amount as they represented the lowest and best bid.
Have they done work for the county before?
They have not done work directly for Geauga County, but they are currently the contractor that is doing the ODOT safety program, the Geauga funds in Middlefield, and doing the lane widenings and all that work for the Amish safety grant that we received.
Okay.
So they are currently
Familiar company.
doing work in the county. We did speak with ODOT and pull their qualifications, so.
Okay.
Nick, this is the bridge on Bundy'sburg by, is this the one where the historical bridge was next to it? And
Yes.
there's that, now, is this money, this is for the new bridge?
This is for the realignment of the roadway
Okay.
through the Swine Creek and the realignment of the intersection.
Okay, and then what about that old historical bridge? What do they have to do with that?
It's going to remain. So the bridge itself, the
Yeah.
structure itself will remain.
Okay.
So let me ask you, did you have the conversation with them on this, like, they're doing the bridge and they're doing that widening project?
They are working, they still have, you're correct, they still have Newcomb Road, the reconstructing Newcomb Road, they still have the widening on Mumford, they still have 608 to do, but they're in the area, so they're.
I mean, are we gonna be in a situation again like we are with that mess on Mayfield and Auburn where, you know, they're spread so thin and can't complete anything? I mean, are we asking these questions?
Yes, we are. We do a qualification, can they get the work done, can they,
And
are they
what
set
kind
to
of
do it?
like guarantee are we getting in an accountability position?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you must have asked this question for East Washington and Mayfield, and it's not done. It's not done, and it's causing a major ass ache, you know?
Mm.
And it's like, you know, they've already got Newcomb, they've got this, they've got that. You know, just because they're the lowest and best bid, I get it, but are they gonna get the job done? I'm just being boldly honest with you. You know, this is a question that's gotta be asked.
Correct. No, and it's a question that we asked even through ODOT, talking with ODOT.
I mean, this is a big job in Middlefield. That widening is not, you know, just a little driveway job. I mean, it's a big job.
And it was intended a 2-year job, as that was what
Right.
that job was designed as.
You know, it just, I'll be quite honest with you, it's like we're loading up these contractors with these jobs, and it's like we're giving them years of work, but at the end of the day, we could be spreading that work out and getting the stuff done. And I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna abstain on this vote, because unless I have something to look at to say they're gonna have it done by X number of time, then I'm good with it, but at this point, I'd say no. So I'll instead of abstain, I will say no, because I don't feel comfortable saying yes, because we can't hold them accountable. And without that accountability of time, we're worth nothing. So my vote is no.
Do they, Nick, let me ask you, do they have, don't they have time in the contract?
The contract, there's a contract period that they signed, that they said they would do the work on. This is federal funded, so we follow ODOT's regulations on the
But we
funding.
can't hold them, we can't hold them liable once, we have nothing, if they go past that, I've talked to Joe Cattell about this, there's nothing that we can legally do to go after them.
With the federal project, we have the federal money, so we have the federal backing on this one. So this, with the federal funds on this job, we follow under their liquidated damages, we follow their regulations because of the federal funds we have in the contract. In the East Washington project, it was 100% local. So that was all local funding. So this project is being also monitored by ODOT, overseen. So we're running the project with ODOT's oversight because of the federal funds.
And the
that are
funding
involved.
is 100% federal on this?
No, 1.9 million of it is federal, 320,000 is local, so.
Okay. I'll make
I'll-
the motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Nope.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Item 7 on the agenda is requesting the board award the bid to Roniak Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Bass Lake Road, CH 23, sections A through C in Newberry Township in the amount of $640,635 as they represented the lowest and best bid. There was 2 bids on this project. One is awardable. This is the rebid of that project from earlier this year.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate it.
And what about number 8?
Oh,
One
well,
more.
8?
There's multiple. There's
Oh.
Switching hats.
Okay, all right.
Thanks for keeping
To
the
bring-
seat and table warm, Nick.
Bring in the heavy hitter. Very nice.
That was him.
Yeah, yeah. That was it.
I'm the light stuff.
He's the offensive line. He opens up the gap for you, and then you appear.
Good cop, bad cop, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I have a few things on the agenda today. I'll start with, we'll kind of talk about 8 and 9. We have 2 projects that we're requesting resolution to approve and to put these out to bid. The first one is the resurfacing of Aquila Road, County Highway 5, sections A and B, and Butternut Road, County Highway 21, sections F through H in Newberry Township, Burton and Newberry Townships. This is resurfacing of Aquila and Butternut. They intersect, so we put them together as one project. We think combined will give a better product and probably a little better pricing. And they're right down the road from our shop, so we'll be able to keep a close eye. But these would go out to bid, pending approval, they would go out to bid this week and open in mid-December with a start date of like April 1st
Okay.
of 22.
So you get rolling on these now.
Yeah, we're trying to spread it out a little bit and to kind of chime in on what Commissioner Spitaleri said. The idea is to not have them all in one group and have one contractor, but to offer them out to a number of contractors. We are somewhat limited on our award process with the bidding being limited to 10% over maximum over the bid price. Sometimes we're down to 1 or none, but in this case, we think bidding them early will attract some variety of bidders and kind of get that, get some of it in the books for them and make them excited to work in Geauga County next year.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon? You want to go back to Ralph?
Yeah.
Commissioner Lennon?
Second.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That was for 8.
That was for
Yes.
number 8. Number 9, a similar resurfacing project. This is Thompson Road, County Highway 7, sections A through E. That's from the Lake County line to the Burton Square. This is a resurfacing project. It's 2.8 or 2.9 miles. It does have Ohio Public Works funding that was approved in July of 21. So we'll be able to bid it now and start in the spring.
Is that OPWC? Is that like 50%?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you. Both of those bids will be opened on December 15th at 2 p.m. and 2:05 p.m. as listed in the agenda
And they'll be open up here or at your office?
here.
Here.
Do you want me to do multiple of the resolutions?
Do you want to talk about your
Convenience, or-
projects first
Sure.
and then?
Okay. So I sent in a color map for everybody to take a look at, kind of as a primer for what we intend to do next year. It does include the two projects that Nick Corris just spoke to, and the two that I just referred to, and then a number of other resurfacing projects throughout the county. The map also indicates the orange circles. There are 5 potential bridge projects, including the Bundy'sburg Bridge that has federal funding, the Wilson Mills Bridge that has federal funding, 2 public works funded bridge projects, and a local project in a subdivision. So a very active year for bridge work next year. In addition to that, there's a number of resurfacing projects. And item number 6, we're working on an improvement project, safety improvement project at the intersection of Bainbridge Road and Washington Street to
Redesign that.
reconfigure that Y intersection. We're still working through the final layout and design, but the hope is to have Bainbridge Road come into Washington Street at a 90-degree angle instead of at a sharp skew, and potentially signalize that intersection if all the pieces fall together. And potentially that project would get postponed to 2023. There's some opportunity for safety funds through ODOT and that kind of stuff, but we're working through those processes. It's on the map because we're going to be out there doing surveying and investigating, so we have a convenience and necessity for that one on the bill today.
Approximately how many accidents are at that intersection a year?
I don't have that information. We get, Kinston Schools has a program where they do a safety study in their school district.
Yes.
And almost every year, but at least every other year, the kids do that intersection. And they cite, the variety of safety concerns. There's a huge aggregate gravel triangle
Yeah.
that people pull into to try to make that sharp turn, but they're technically outside of the roadway now, so it's like a vehicle in distress, and then they pull back into traffic, and I've witnessed quite a bit of near misses, none actual accidents, but lots of conflicting traffic movement, so it's a tough location, and it's a lot of traffic on both roads. So it's really due. We did our signal warrant, and it does meet the warrant requirements, so.
A couple years ago, I met a young man from Kinston there at your office, and we
Okay.
went over the whole thing, because he was doing a report on it.
Oh, yeah, that's probably,
Which is fine.
in 13 years, it's probably the 7th or 8th or 9th one that I've seen come through.
Mhm.
So it's a popular location to study. Any questions on the map or the project locations?
No,
It
it's
looks
good.
good.
Okay.
The, I know the Bundy'sburg Swine Creek, that's been a long, we've been talking about that for a long time, but,
Yes.
is that, were we mandated to do that by the Fed?
No.
No.
No, but, so we inspect 100% of our bridges every year.
Mhm.
That is required by the state.
Mhm.
That one has progressively moved down in the rating over a number of years, and so it got to the point where it was necessary. The parapets on top of the bridge have been hit many, many times.
Yeah.
Chunks of the parapets are down in the riverbed. We had to restrict the lane width and traffic across that bridge.
Will that remain a four-way stop there, or will that, when they straighten that traffic?
It'll be a two-way stop,
two-way
so
stop.
Bundy'sburg will be a straight through.
Okay.
And then Swine Creek will have a
Gotcha.
two-way stop.
Gotcha.
And it'll be a true four-way intersection
Mhm.
instead of the offset
The-
intersections.
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool, thank you.
So,
You want to do these all together?
10 through 17 are all yours.
do you want me to read them one at a time?
He's asking you to do them all together
Okay.
at once, so
Okay.
however you want to.
All right, I'll read through them real quickly. Resolution 21-149, the resolution to improve Auburn Road section, County Highway 4 sections N and O. Resolution 21-150, the resurfacing of Chagrin Road, County Highway 9, Section A. Resolution 21-151, the resurfacing of Munn Road, County Highway 32, Sections A through C. Resolution 21-152, resolution to improve Leggett Road, County Highway 33, Sections D and E. Resolution 21-153, Clay Street, County Highway 37, Sections C and D. Resolution 21-154, Jug Street, County Highway 46, Sections F and G. Resolution 21-155, Washington Street, County Highway 0606, Sections A and B. And finally, Resolution 21-156, Cambridge Road, County Highway 11, Section G, and Washington Street, 606, Sections E and F.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lund.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
All good?
Real good.
Yes.
Gentlemen,
Thanks.
ma'am, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Morning. How's everyone?
Good, good, good.
Good. Okay. Well, first I wanted to introduce you to Allison Koba. She's our new planner. Some of you met her, some of you haven't. So she started beginning of October, and she's picked up on everything wonderfully, and I'm so excited to have her.
I know you've been waiting, right?
Yes. Fabulous at GIS, which is a big help, because in the new year, we definitely want to start focusing on you know, what we can do to help both the planning commission and then also the townships as well.
Excellent.
So,
Welcome aboard.
yeah, thank you. So number 18, this is a replat of the McClintock Pike subdivision. It's an old one from the 50s. It's actually just a subdivision that used the existing roadway to create several sublots. And the property owner, Patrick and Sarah Wilkinson, are proposing just to consolidate sublot 22 and 23. It's located on the west side of Old State Road, just south of Clarendon Troy Road. And the new sublot is going to be known as sublot 22-R. It's going to contain 3.995 acres. It was approved at the November 9th Planning Commission meeting. And I just wanted to put, Soil and Water commented that they thought it was actually a good idea to consolidate the lots because it gives the property owner a little bit more room to actually build their home.
Great.
Makes sense.
It's subject to riparian setbacks that Hamden Township zoning requires.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lund.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right, and then number 19 is, this one's actually a lot split and not a consolidation. It's located in Russell Township. This was also approved at the November 9th Planning Commission meeting. So the property is owned by the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. It's a Kent subdivision, again, another example of a subdivision that sublots were just created off of the existing roadways quite some time ago. So the museum owns several properties, obviously throughout the county, but specifically in Russell Township. And a conservation easement is currently in place on these properties. And but the museum is not in the business of owning homes. So there's a home on sublot 8. So they're splitting that off to create sublot R so that they can sell sublot R because they don't want to own and maintain single-family homes. And then the remaining block A is part of the conservation easement, and that's just going to be maintained in perpetuity as open space, as the conservation easement already applies to it. So it went through the approval process, and all the departments did review it and sign off on it. There was initially a concern with the house, but the health department did sort that out. Not with the house, there's a detached building there that had a partial living space, but that's being corrected before the sale, or it's part of the sale.
This is the corner of 306 and Fairmount.
And Fairmount, yeah. And they own the Cleveland Museum of Natural History also owns other sublot, or other lots in that immediate area, but they're actually not platted sublots. So those are actually just being approved administratively.
Are those
through
the ones
planning
across the
commission.
street?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay.
Motion, please.
Make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
So are they gonna be paying taxes, or are they gonna fall under a nonprofit status?
If it's anything owned by the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is tax exempt. They are a tax exempt entity.
So there'll be, so what we were getting on taxes on this property we'll no longer get.
I don't think we've been receiving taxes on it ever since they owned it. They
Right,
they
but I'm saying,
purchased it not
so
all that long ago.
once
Now
they
that if they sell
put their
it,
claws in it,
Right.
we have no taxes anymore.
Anything that's a tax exempt entity.
Was it sold or was
With
it
this
gifted?
situation, if they
But if-
turn around and sell
sell
that
the
property,
property.
it'll go back up with the taxes.
Just the house
The house
portion.
part,
The
yeah.
house
The
part.
other part will remain, yeah.
Right.
But it's a
This will be-
fairly large piece of property that I don't think the house is gonna make a drop in the bucket compared to probably what the taxes were.
That's, so the signs say Western Reserve Land Conservancy, is it but you're saying it's the,
The Western, it's the Cleveland Museum of Natural History owns it, and then the Western Reserve Land Conservancy
oh, I
manages
see.
the easement.
Okay. Yeah. Was it sold or was it donated? You know that?
I think it was owned by the Nash family. I
Yeah.
believe it was. I'd have to look at that up. I'm not quite sure. I think it was donated, but I'm not totally certain on that.
I believe that property was one of the ones that was donated.
Hmm.
There was a lot of property. It was like 100-some
Yeah, it's beautiful.
acres.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Kristen is
Yeah,
not
that's
here.
it.
This is the annual request for the reelection of Mr. Hildebrand and Mr. Walder to the volunteer peace officers defendants.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Would that be for 20 and 21?
No,
This is
the
just
current
reaching
one
your
is
goal.
through the end of the
Yeah,
year.
for number 20.
Oh, yes, 20 and 21 on the agenda, yes.
Yes.
And this is the
Just
new
one piece at a
appointment
time.
for
Yeah.
next year. Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Okay, water resources, the first one is we are rescinding a motion to hire maintenance worker Anthony Pacifico, who took a position elsewhere.
Make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yeah.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
And number 23, we're requesting the board approve and authorize Timothy Lennon, board member, to execute the Water Pollution Control Loan Fund Final Exhibit 1 for the Auburn Corners wastewater treatment plant expansion and Troy Oaks Pump Station project. Finally done.
Right on.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes. Now, there's still a retainer that they'll get paid. Oh, this
That's
is
all
it?
been taken care of,
This is
correct?
it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
final
just-
payments were made.
Great.
Thank you.
Just-
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
too.
too.
Thank you so much.
Jerry, you want to take over on the 24?
Yeah, then the next item is just a discussion about the statements of qualifications that we received, that we've gone off for a month and a half ago, that for the professional design services, the architects, and the owner's rep for, the phase 2 portion of the county projects, as well as other buildings.
Okay.
You'll just review those.
Yeah.
I did, and if you kind of lean towards NV5 and TDA, both, the qualifications. NV5, the other one for owner's rep that we received was R.A. Warner. R.A. Warner is out of Westlake. Just the, proximity of NV5 is, plus already knowing them from their existing contract.
Mhm.
If you guys have any comments or.
So for both, I reviewed these, but, so we had 2 apply for the owner's rep?
For the owner's rep, yes.
And then the other, then we have.
I'm sorry. No.
No, I'm sorry, the other way around.
I
Yeah.
switched them up, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
TDA and RE1 were the two
Yeah,
for the architect.
Architect,
The
yeah.
other
Design
was
engineers.
the four.
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a good group here of all, I reviewed these and, familiar with them from the past,
Yeah.
when we looked at them. I kind of came to the same conclusion, just from the simple point of, we've already been, pretty familiar and comfortable working with NV5 and TDA.
Yes.
And they have done a fantastic job up to this point, but, moving forward, I tried to separate that and, thinking about some of the other big picture type things that we're gonna have to take a look at going into the future here. So I agree, I'm comfortable with both of them. I don't know if, what the next steps are, if we want to have them come in here and talk to them again about, some of the other capital improvement projects we have, or, we haven't been very specific yet as to what we want to look at, but.
Correct. This was just to bring in statements of qualifications so that we
Yeah.
can look at them and then move forward with whatever we
Mhm.
want to do it, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've read all the proposals as well. Wasn't there one company that like missed a deadline or didn't mail something properly?
Yes, IAP
Right.
did not follow the requirements of the submission. They only submitted the hard copies. They were supposed to submit electronic copies at the same time.
So it went out, we broadcasted this as much as we could, but after reviewing everything, I'm very comfortable with TDA and NV5.
I'll make that motion.
Well,
There's no
motion
motion.
yet. This was
I
just a
think that's-
review. But if you're okay with it, then what we propose would be a motion to authorize me to begin negotiations with NV5 and TDA for the next phase of the projects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think
Yeah.
that's the pleasure
Will
of the
they,
board.
will they, so if we do get to a point where we can hire them and have them come sit down with us and we can start talking about, some of the things we need to address, and start
Correct.
putting that down on paper and.
That will basically be the discussion, is starting what's our next steps, what do we need to do?
Okay.
And then they would they would submit their proposals to
Okay,
us.
okay.
Okay, so you asked for a motion to authorize you to begin negotiations on a contract. Ralph, you put a motion out
Well,
there?
no, we did, I think that we're good. I mean, at this point, you're just gonna
Well,
basically.
I need your approval
Yeah,
to
I
do
would say
that, so that would
yes.
be, that's the motion.
That's the motion for
Yeah.
approval?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll second
Make that
now.
motion.
Commissioner Spudler?
Yeah, I,
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Okay. One more thing before you add the other one. Linda had sent an email to all of you, along with from Mr. Stevens from the Planning Commission. His term would be expiring at the end of December of this year, along with Mr. Claypool and Mr. Chester Miller. Those were the three Planning Commission appointments that were due before the end of the year. Chester Miller Charlie Stevens has submitted a letter to all of you saying that he is not requesting to be reappointed. So you will have to find a replacement for Charlie, as well as tell me who you would like to consider for whether you want to reappoint Mr. Miller and Mr. Claypool before the end of the year.
So there's three
Yes,
positions.
three for planning that are due.
so is Chester and Claypool said that they wanted.
I have not received anything from either of them as far as a request to be reappointed yet.
Okay.
I know that it's been discussed at the planning commission meeting, and that Charlie had put out an email to all of them about their reappointment, but I have not heard anything back.
When is that due?
Before the end of the year.
December 3rd.
Okay.
Plenty of time. I hate
But
to
I
see
just
Charlie
wanna- I just want
go.
to make sure that you guys are aware of that, and so that we can begin working on that.
Yeah, he had to see Charlie leave the position. He did a good job of being chairman and got us through the comprehensive plan and all the extra meetings that they went through, but it's just, sorry to see him go.
So then my understanding is that there is a request to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing the acquisition of property.
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
It'll be carried
I'll
and
include myself and Chip S. Will there be any business after executive session?
You know what, you have to talk.
Right.
There will be some, yes. There will be some.
There will be or there won't?
There will be.
There will be planning commission, Chair.
What's
I
that?
was just thinking that.
Planning
I did my.
Did you? I was just thinking that, and I was like, I bet he's already done it.
Were you on there? 6 years, maybe?
Probably. 100 years ago.
You were younger then.
Planning Commission, Zoning Board of Appeals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wanna try it again?
No.
It's all organized
I
now.
wanna scale back.
Hey, good. See you guys all later.
Take care.
Hey, how are you?
Over there, good.
Do you need something?
No, I was just saying hello. I was letting
my
Jerry know.
office for
I'm gonna
this?
give you guys an email.
See ya. Thanks, Chip.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
everybody.
you too.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Let me know when you're ready.
Is Frank still here?
No.
No. Oh, I gotta call him.
Yes. We'll get back in the regular session,
11 o'clock a.m.
11 o'clock. From the executive session, we had great discussion. And that's it. And that's it. So,
All right.
Anything else, Jerry?
I think that would, I didn't have anything else to add.
Frank
Okay.
left, yeah.
Frank
Frank
left.
left.
Then, so,
I thought maybe he would talk.
Yeah, we can catch up with him, I guess individually, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
you guys should have to sign resolutions for me. and-
Yep.
Any public comment?
Yeah,
Wish all the
question.
commissioners a very happy Thanksgiving and
Thank
their
you.
wonderful staff, too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, we plan on it.
Did you get your turkey yet?
It's all been taken care of,
Good,
thank you.
yeah.
Grandpa's pays for everything.
Yeah, yeah. Get it out, start defrosting it now. I learned that lesson.
Oh, you
Yeah,
betcha.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Especially if
It's
you're
been
gonna,
out.
especially if you're gonna deep fry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm hoping that it's already
Yeah.
been out.
Yeah, really. Question, is there any way to tell, with this architectural project, the two that are being considered, are there any projects besides Ravenwood which are being considered for this particular?
Geauga County's an open canvas.
I'm sorry.
Geauga County's an open canvas.
All right, okay.
No,
You
I,
guys talked last week about aging too, so.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so there's a number of items that we know over the next few years we're gonna have to deal with. One is the square area, the other one is the youth home. We have a senior center that's gonna need to be created somewhere to replace the one that's currently at the Ravenwood building that is being rented from Ravenwood.
yeah. You know, just, I
We need
think,
to find a place, we need to find a place to meet the Ohio Revised Code for the commissioners to have an office in the city.
So is this project as much a satisfaction of the requirement of keeping the offices within the county seat as anything else?
That's one of the portions of it. The other one, the CASA, we do not have a place for them. They're in this complex. They need to go somewhere at some point before we get rid of this complex also.
Okay, was there ever any judgment by Judge Andre?
No.
I mean, it just got left
The
hanging there?
case is still open. We're still in negotiations with the city sheriff. That's part of this process is.
Okay, because there are no further notes, there's, that I've seen.
There, we have not had anything further with the court since 2 months ago.
So it's kind of like, you guys want to get together and talk, you can talk kind of deal?
Yes.
Okay.
good stuff.
Okay. Anything else?
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy
Same to you.
Thanksgiving.